Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai, Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai, Barak to Yahweh, Barak to Yahushai, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Road, where are the accurate preaching the gospel of the Lord Yahushai HaMashiach in sincerity and in truth throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the Brother Minash DC Camp with a short lesson to keep Jake edified. Keep a nation of our people edified, alright? The elect of our nation edified. That's what it boils down to. That's what the gospel was meant to, to do, to edify the elect of our nation, alright? So, I got a quick, quick lesson, a quick video here, just show you how much Esau's really, in a desperate mindset to shift the people from being independent and to have them dependent on the so-called proposed solution to end hunger and so-called free up the environment from all the stress of industrialization, especially farming, all right? And so Esau's always got to put funding towards entities that are going to be promoting this so-called idea of greener, greener food options and all that. So at the end of the day, you're just going to figure out that Esau's just, causing havoc, by putting this famine into motion, and then have the people depend on the government, and then they're going to flood, the people's, the people, what you call it, food banks, grocery stores and whatever, and all these handouts from the government. They're going to be pushing all these plant, so-called plant-based nutrition, as meat substitute, chicken substitute. That's exactly what they want, because they don't want people to be independent, and they have to, pull out every strategy in their playbook to have the people, migrate towards their plan. All right. So I'm just gonna play a portion of this video and I get the scriptures.
It's an innovative entree that goes from printer to pan. Giuseppe Schianti came up with the idea 2 years ago. Since then, he's been printing and preparing vegan steaks like this for people around the world.
It's about new meat. It means plant-based meat substitute. So we are creating the first 3D printed plant-based beef steak.
The edible ink with ingredients such as rice, peas, and seaweed comes in a cartridge like this. A 3D printer takes the role as sous chef, working meticulously to prepare the meat in under 10 minutes. It's printed with the same texture and appearance of a normal beef steak. After a sizzle on the skillet and a dash of oregano, it's time to eat. Mouth full,
And that's the point, and that's what the elites want. They're going to put so much funding towards these ideas of having people, go with this so-called option. And that's the reason why they keep pushing all this, green, green solution, this eco-friendly, that, sustainability. That's the whole goal, right? To control the people, right? You control access to the land, and they control access to finances and resources, and then the people become overly dependent on the government, all right? And that's the reason why there's going to be so much chaos here in Babylon. It's the reason why the violence here is going to be so high, all right? Because when people have been used to a certain lifestyle of being able to get stuff themselves, and then that is interrupted, and then they're being prevented with all the so-called laws and emergency legislations on the books, what do you expect is going to happen? It's just a volatile situation that's about to be set off, all right? So, it's all part of the curses the Lord Yahweh Shema is bringing upon the earth, all right? And Babylon is not exempt, and it's just, what we have to endure in these last days, because our people, we sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shema Kodash, so He had to let us feel the brunt, all right? So this is just a result of that, all right? Because our people, when we sinned against the Lord jacked us up, let us eat filthy things among the heathen. All right. So we're gonna read from the book of Leviticus chapter 26, verse 25. All right. So it says, and I will bring a sword upon you, and I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. All right. And that's the judgment the Lord thereby Shemashah is going to bring upon that. It's going to bring upon our people in these last days that choose not to trust in Him. All right, and just like He did in thousands of years ago. All right. So I read one more time. It says, and I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. All right, the Lord's statutes and commandments, the agreement our nation, right, the nation of Israel, made with the Lord thereby Shemashah. All right, and when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. All right. Verse 26, and when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. All right. And that's what it's like, when these nations conquered our people had to eat all type of filthy abominations. Even before then, our people was already eating filthy abominations. All right. And then the Lord amped up the chastisement. All right. So I expect this to happen again. That our people that think that they used to eat healthy, they used to eat all these so-called healthy options. They're gonna be eating a lot of filthy things in these last days. All right, and it's all by the doing of the Lord thereby Shemashah, because the Lord has already set the wicked to be ruler over the earth for a period of time. So what do you think is going to happen when the rulership of the wicked is at its pinnacle? All right. So and then you move forward. You look at the book of Ezekiel chapter 4. It tells you, all right, what we had to endure. All right. And then you had the scientists from Japan that was making shit burgers, from dung, making burgers from dung, man, meat substitute from dung, from human dung. All right. So just imagine what these scientists are experimenting with in the lab. All right, because it's no longer going to take our people by surprise, because they see it out there now, but they can't say they didn't see it. Okay. So this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 4. I'm going to read from verse 11. So it's what the Lord is telling the prophet Ezekiel, concerning the condition of our people. All right. So it says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, the 6th part of an hin. From time to time thou shalt drink, and thou shalt eat as barley cakes. That's the bread that was baked with dung, all right, human dung, all right, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight, all right. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their bread defiled, all right. Right, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. All right. So our people, you just need to wake up, man. I understand that eating the defiled, food on the face of the earth is not really the way to live, man. The judgment is about to be over, and it's time for salvation. So our people gotta be ready. all right, to accept the blessings. And the blessing comes with conditions, conditions to live uprightly, to live righteously, right? To understand what is required in these last days, to have faith, all right? And now people need to work on that really, really, seriously, because faith is really, really important when you're serving the Lord, all right? And then when you read the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, it tells you the tensions that's going to be taking place in Babylon. All right. The tension that's going to be taken in Babylon when it comes to people trying to survive. All right. So I'm going to get this real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to read from verse 56. It tells you that, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, right? As Esau has done unto the children of the Lord, said the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. All right. So all these plans that you see on the screen of all these plant-based options for for meat and chicken and all that, it's all part of the plan of mischief the Lord Shai has laid before the Edomites, man, the heathens of this world. All right. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. All right, okay. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. All right, so that's the collapse of society. All right, Israel's society is coming down, it's crumbling. All right, you see the news reports of eviction notices being honored. See families getting evicted. You see folks on the news reports talking about their plight, and them not being able to get any employment. The government assistance is not coming, and it's not coming quick enough. So that's the time we're living in, man. The fabric of America is being torn apart, and these politicians, they don't have an answer for the people because they have controlled themselves. All right. So what do you expect? Scripture talks about a hungry man, an angry man. It's an angry man. Even Bob Marley's song, all right? So verse 58 says, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. All right, so that famine is going to be strong, man. Because all those folks that think, they got their little cabin set up on the mountain, they got enough supplies, they're not going to be the only one up there by themselves. Because a lot of people are going to be rushing up there too. All that off the grid living is hard. It's easy to find where people live nowadays, man. All you gotta do is just go, get a Google Maps and zoom in. And then you start making estimates. All right, there's a possibility someone's living here. You got a water going this way. You got look at the land and all that. I mean the what you call it, the geographical location. It's easy because people know how to read maps. People know how to use compasses. Some people know how to find water. All right, because that's what life in the Boy Scouts is about, survival on the outdoors. All right. So just imagine when they apply that skill, they're going to find resources, and they're going to know how to find where people are. All right. So that's going to put strain on what these people have stored up. All right. Verse 59 says, thou as unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plagues again. So all hell is coming to Babylon. All right. So it's gonna be terrible, man, to see families fall apart. All right, these last days, because it's the curses of the Lord coming upon Babylon. It's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be really heavy upon this place. So you gotta pray that you don't get caught up in it. Pray the Lord help Shema Shai guides you and gives you the wisdom to hold on to what's necessary, which is the Holy Scriptures. All right. So final precept will be from the book of Isaiah chapter 65. I'm going to read from verse 12 to verse 14. All right, because it's always a balance of the scriptures, man. Because in the last days, the elect, we don't have to worry about food. All they're going to be thinking of is about, praising the Lord about Shema Shai. All right, and thanking Him for the knowledge He's provided. All right. So this is Isaiah chapter 65 verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. So that's the judgment of two-thirds of our own people that despise the laws of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, that despises prophecy and despises prophets, and even despise the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai by Shema Kwakadash. Alright? So how do you think the Lord is going to reward those people? With calamities, alright? And then in verse 13 it says, Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai by Shema Kwakadash, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Alright? So it's that simple, because there was a season when the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai was feeding both the unrighteous and the righteous. Alright? He allowed both sides to be getting what they needed. But after a while, the Lord's not going to put up with unrighteousness, so He has to bring judgment upon them. Alright? And that's what the Lord is going to do in verse 13. Alright? It says, Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai Shema Kwakadash, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And that can also be applied to this knowledge, because when this knowledge is currently available, both 2/3 and 1/3 of our people have access to it. All right, but when time gets tight and things are getting down to the nitty-gritty, the famine of the word. All right, the famine of the word. So that means that who's gonna have the wisdom? The men of the Lord, the ones that held on to the word and used it appropriately. All right. 14, it says, Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right. So you gotta understand, man. You gotta look forward to the famine of the bread, and the famine of the word. All right, because in these last days, man, you gotta understand what's more valuable. All right, so that was the point that I came. Hope you've been edified, and just make sure that you keep your eyes on the prize, which is this word, which is it's gonna lead to your salvation. Shalom.